Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. Today, the 23rd of Jumaadaa Al-Uulaa, 1445, after the Hijrah, 6th of December 2020. We're continuing the class, the concise presentation of the Fiqh. Today is episode 60, marriage, part 9. Those of you who are following us in the book, we're on page 408. The rights of the spouses. We started with the rights of the wife, and we are on number 8. It's a right of the wife that the husband seeks her advice in matters, especially matters that particularly concern her and their children, thereby emulating the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi mawala. I will just ask the doctor to read the beginning of each of those rights, and then I will elaborate to make it a bit quicker. So it is from the right of the wife upon her husband that he should consult her, especially those things that would affect both of them. Like, for example, naming the children and education of the children. That's, both of them are concerned. And even regarding his own matters, it's good to consult. It's not incumbent upon the husband to consult, but it is good because some of the people think consultation of the woman is disaster. It's not really correct. Prophet ﷺ in the battle, or in the truce of Al-Hudaybiyah, I should say, when the kuffar prevented the Prophet of Allah to approach the Kaaba and they had to go back, already they are in a state of ihram. They got the clothes of the ihram on themselves, and only about 6 miles left, or 8 miles left to go to the haram. So they've crossed more than 230 miles already from Medina, but the kuffar said, no, you have to go back. We can't let you in. And they made this called the Truce of Al-Hudaybiyah, in which Prophet ﷺ had agreed, and it was, looking at it from outside, the agreement is really oppression onto the Muslims, but the Prophet of Allah told by the relation that this can only turn out to be good in the favor of the Muslims. And Prophet ﷺ, upon this, so he can't just cross that 10 or 7 or 8 miles, I can't remember, maybe 13 miles maybe, Al-Hudaybiyah. So he can't cross that 13 miles to complete his Umrah, and he's to go back now. Remember, he's got his clothes on, Ihram, he's got even the hadi, the camel's sacrifice there, everything has been ready. Even the hump of the camel has been slit, and that's a sign of the blood goes in. That means it's a sign that he's been designated for to be what? The hadi for this Umrah. I have to go back. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said to them, now they did not make tawaf, they did not make sa'i. Shave your head. Khalas, Umrah is finished now. Shave your head and go back. That's it. And slaughter your animals. Umrah has been fulfilled. So none of the companions got up to fulfill the Prophet ﷺ. He told them, go ahead. Qum fanharu. Slaughter your animals. Shave your heads. But he replied, because most of the companions felt that maybe the Prophet ﷺ will have another revelation to change, because it says a humiliating, disgraceful treaty. Even Umar al-Khattab did not accept it. Later on, he blamed himself, because within the 2 years that the Prophet of Allah he had as a truce, he was able to make so many people to embrace Islam, thousands of people into Islam, just in this period of 2 years. So war is no good. He went inside his house, and Salama, well, not his house, but his camp, was camping there. Salama is there, she saw him. What's wrong? He told her. She said, well, Messenger of Allah, do you like this to happen? Well, yes. Well, just go out. Speak to no one. Slaughter your animal, shave your head. That's it. He fulfilled her consultation. As soon as the companions saw that this is really serious now, Prophet of Allah shaved his head and slaughtered his animals. Every person now slaughtered his animal that he brought, and at the same time they started as well to shave their heads ahead of each other, and almost died out of feeling ashamed, of feeling a bit of sort of grief and sorrow and sad. Why didn't they fulfill the command of the Prophet of Allah? So that was consultation, which is spot on. Prophet of Allah, he just did this, okay, and everybody followed. And everybody followed. So that's show you the consultation of the women. It brings an effect which is good. And as I said, it's her right to have to be consulted regarding the issue, which is a mutual. Not telling to go and consult her regarding what you have at work, because she doesn't understand anything there. But regarding the thing that is, the house itself, and should we bring somebody to clean the house? Should we paint the house? And now, number 9.
It's the right of the wife that the husband returns home immediately after finishing the Isha prayer and does not stay out talking into the late hours of the night. This late night.
Basically, this right is depending upon, first of all, the shift work of the husband. If he works during the night, then this doesn't work. Number 2, it does depend upon that if this person stays late but he's with her, it's no problem. So she's with him at the same time. She stays and she's leaving, but he's giving her right because he needs to attend something which is important. No problem. But something which is every night or almost every night, most of the night, he's out and she's there, she's waiting for him. He comes when she's sleeping, okay? And he's not fulfilling her right. That's not correct, because regardless of how she trusts you, it brings doubts in the mind of the woman. Why she's staying for a long, long time away from me? That means that he doesn't like me. Verily, your wife and spouse has a right upon you. Number 10, please.
It's a right of the wife upon the husband that he treats co-wives, if any, in a just and equitable manner.
So he has to be as well just in the way the food, the drink, and even giving the clothes and as well where to reside and where to sleep. So if he gives, for example, one a night, the other one has to give the same equal night to her. As for the food and the clothes, that depends upon how much and how many the members of the family. Like, for example, we find a wife, she's got children which are more than the other one. We're not saying to you they're going to bring the same amount of food for the other one's got 10 children, the other one's got no children. It's not going to be just. But if both of them are the same, let's say both of them have got no children, so you need to bring same food, same quality, same as in, don't give her, for example, grade A clothes and the other one grade C clothes. It's not allowed. You have to be just in between them. Same thing with the night as well. So we're giving her one night or 2 nights in the week. The following 2 nights will be for the other wife. Otherwise, you're going to come on the day of resurrection with your head tilted. That's beside the punishment you're going to get, because people will recognize, this is the person who's got more than one wife, and he's not just in between them. Right, now after alhamdulillah, we fulfilled the rights of the wives. Now we need to have the rights of the men. Further.
The rights of the husband upon the wife.
Number 1, yeah.
The right of the husband upon the wife is great. The Messenger of Allah pointed out his greatness in the hadith, recording by the Hakim and others from Abu Sa'id. The right of the husband over his wife is so great that even if she were to lick his wound, she will not have fulfilled his right. So
Prophet sometimes gives an example which makes it closer to your mind how to treat somebody's rights. So the Prophet of Allah, he said one day, if I want to command somebody to prostrate to somebody, I would have commanded the wife to prostrate to her husband because of the great right of her husband on her. But prostrating to anyone except for Allah is unallowed or disallowed. So here the Prophet of Allah, he said, if the husband is to have some spots which they discharge pus, the pus, and she's to lick it, she's not allowed to lick it anyway, but she's still to lick it, she still will not be able to fulfill his full right. To show you how big the rights are of the husband. The right and the sensible woman, she's the one who will always uphold what Allah upholds. She's the one would adhere to what the Prophet of Allah says regarding the husband. So she will obey him, and she will fulfill the following hadith. إِذَا صَلَّتِ الْمَرْأَةُ خَمْسَهَا. If the woman is to pray her 5 daily prayers, وَصَامَتْ شَهْرًا, and is to fast the month of hers, which is the month of Ramadan, وَحَفِظَتْ فَرْجَهَا, and she had protected private parts, that means from anybody except for her husband, وَأَطَاعَتْ زَوْجَهَا, and that's the 4th thing, and she had fulfilled the obedience of her husband, قِيلَ لَهَا ادْخُلِي الْجَنَّةَ مِنْ أَيِّ بَابٍ شِئْتِ. It will be said to her to enter paradise from whatever gate you wish. So basically the obedience of the husband is one of those pillars for the women to enter her garden, paradise. One day the hadith of the Prophet also, when a woman, she came to him And he said, Adatu ba'lin anti? Are you married? She said, yes, Messenger of Allah. He said, how are you to him? She said, Wallahi, I'm always do not fall short in fulfilling his demands unless I'm unable, disabled, something unable to do it. It's beyond my capability. He said, for verily, innahu jannatuki aw naruki. Look carefully, he's either your paradise or your hellfire. I mean, through his obedience, you go to paradise, and through his disobedience, you go to hellfire. So be careful. Look at your husband, what he demands. It's very important. Right. Now, Prophet ﷺ, he said, by the one in whose hand is my soul, any man calls his wife for the bed, for the intercourse, and she refuses, then the ones in the heavens will be angry with her until she is pleased. The one in the heavens are above the heavens, the Almighty, and also the virgins of paradise. They will say to that woman, may Allah curse you, or may Allah fight you. He's with you temporarily. He's about to go and come to us. The sensible woman, she will be all the time trying to please her husband, even if she is in the right. So even if she's the right or the wrong, if she comes to her husband, puts her hand in his hand, I will not sleep until you're pleased with me, believe me, there will be no problem whatsoever. And the court will be sort of bankrupt because there's no cases between husband and wife. Family courts will be empty. As long as the woman, she knows what she's doing. So the wife, think sensibly, she will, I will not sleep until you are happy with me. I think the husband will dissolve. And whatever he's done, he will say, it's my mistake. It's not your mistake. You shouldn't be really apologizing. It's me apologizing. So upon you as a wife to listen to commands of the Prophet ﷺ, but you're not allowed to fulfill his commands if he's asking you to do something haram. So if he said to you, go on, pluck the hair of your eyebrows, don't do that. It's haram to do this. Or for example, do not fast Ramadan, or come out with no hijab. All of those things that you should not be fulfilling. And you're not allowed to fulfill as well his command if he tells you, for example, I wanted to come into course with you from the back, means from the back, in the back. Or I want to come into course with you while you are in a state of the menses. You're not allowed to do that. He's allowed to do whatever he likes in state of menses, but cannot do the penetration, the intercourse. And the Prophet ﷺ also, he told us not to enter on the women who are not our wives or our maharim on our own, even if you are to be the brother of the husband. You're not supposed to enter the woman on her own. You should be all the time having somebody with you. And the Prophet was asked, Al-Ham. Ham means the relative of the husband, brother, uncle, not the father. The father is allowed to come in because he's the father-in-law. But the other than them, when she was not maharim, so the brother of the husband, because you've got access to the house. He said, Al-Ham al-Maut. These are death. That means it will lead to the death. What means lead to the death? It leads to disaster and chaos, and it will lead to the dismantling of the family. The brother will start, having some doubts about his brother when he comes to his wife on her own. Okay, will have some doubts, and they will break the family. So do not enter the women on their own. Now we come into the second right, please, and that is
a right of the husband upon his wife is that she guards her honor, and
he guards, not she.
But she guards her honor and also guard his honor.
So yeah. She is correct. That's right. Yeah. She guards his honor.
She should also look after his wealth, children, and other.
Correct. Right. So that is a big right as well. She should not talk about his honor or degrade him in front of the people. She should also make sure that she looks after his wealth and his children. Number 3, please.
It's the right of the husband to have the wife beautify herself for him, and that she have a pleasant smile on her face, instead of frowning and appearing in manners that he dislikes.
Prophet ﷺ, he said that the best of the women is the one who pleases you as soon as you look at her, and she obeys you as soon as you command her, and she will observe your thing, or observe you or preserve you while you are absent regarding herself and regarding your wealth. So it is not correct for the woman to beautify herself to everyone save the husband. Subhanallah. So when it comes to her friends, she goes, MashaAllah. When she goes to another wedding, to all her sisters, she's MashaAllah. When she comes to the husband, she's looking as miserable as she can. That's not right. Just like you beautify yourself to the other friends of yours, husband is more of a priority to you because he likes you to see you nice. and looking nice, inviting him, and smelling nice. كيف حالك يا إمام? How are you? Number 4, please.
Right of the husband is that the wife should remain in her house and not leave her house, even to go to the masjid, except with his permission.
Oh, look at that. From the rights of the husband over his wife, she cannot leave the house without his permission, even if she's going to the masjid. وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنْ. Stay in your house. So that is a right. And that shows that the women, as the Prophet said, like they are prisoners inside the house. And that's why Allah said, "Stawsu bin-nisa'i khayra." Look after your wives. فَإِنَّهُنَّ عَوَانٌ عِنْدَكُمْ. They are prisoners with you because they're not allowed to go out except with the permission. So don't abuse your right. Number 5, please.
It's also the right of the husband that the wife does not allow anyone into the house except by his permission.
Anyone, including your own children who have been separate from you or they are away from you, she's not allowed to put them. If he said, and don't let them in until with my permission. But if he gave a general permission that no problem for you to go on to bring your own father or your own mother or your own children from him as well. If he gave that, but if he did not give the go ahead, she cannot let anyone to go inside the house without his permission. And number 6.
From the rights of the husband over his wife is for her to protect his wealth and not to spend any of it except by his permission.
And even her wealth, as we said before, if she's rich as well, she's not supposed to buy something which is major without his consultation. He doesn't want to end up in the house finding a new furniture, a new bed, and he doesn't like it. And a new fridge, and even you buy it from your own clothes, it's better to go and consult him. As for his own wealth, make sure that as well you don't do that except with a permission. If you have general permission, no problem. If he is stingy and he doesn't spend on the house, you're allowed to take from his money without him knowing. Okay, to buy things for the house, like the expenses of the food and all of that, no problem. But take what is right. Do not really empty his pockets, meaning take what is necessary. Now,
it's the right.
Number 7.
Number 7. It's the right of the husband that his wife does not perform voluntary fast while he is present. That is, not traveling except with his permission.
Okay, well, that is as well with that, when he's traveling, that's in the hadith. But is that a condition that he says, Prophet of Allah, that she's not allowed to fast voluntarily, not the obligatory, the voluntary fast, until she takes permission from him. She's not supposed to ask him for Ramadan, of course, but voluntarily. If he is present, now the word if he's present, وَزَوْجُهَا شَاهِدٌ, is this a condition, or is this كما يقال, is it said in the usul fiqh, خَرَجَ مَخْرَجَ الْغَالِبِ? It is actually something that's been said, which is generally speaking, the husband is always there. So hasn't got a condition, meaning even if he's not there, some scholars said she needs to take permission. You ask why? Because if he's present, maybe he needs her for intercourse, that's why she needs his permission. But why she should take his permission if he's not there? You see, as I say a number of times, the husband, maybe he wants his wife to be not bony, he wants to be chubby, fatty, whatever. It's his own, his own like. He likes that. So if the woman, she keeps fasting voluntarily, she might affect her weight, and he wants to put her to more weight, because the woman, she has to be, pleasing and appealing to her husband, not to anybody else. So that we would say that women, is better for her to seek the permission of her husband for fasting voluntarily, and that is more of a reward in the sight of Allah than fasting itself, just to ask for that permission. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help her, inshallah. Number 8.
It's right to the husband that he not be bothered by reminders of what the wife spent from her wealth on the house and the family. So
she bought a fridge, and a nice fridge. You never bought a fridge like this, have you, in your life? She keeps reminding him, my fridge is better. I brought you a car. Your car was from A to garage, and my A to B to C to D. It was an old banger, yours. And she keeps reminding him of his favors, of her favors. It's no good. Number 9.
Right to the husband upon the wife that she be satisfied with little.
That's very important.
With what they possess, and not overburden the husband.
It's no good to keep asking the husband, well, bring me this and bring me this and bring me this. And sometimes you open the fridge, you can't even close it because there's so many things in that. You need to push the fridge properly in order for the fridge to close, and still she's asking for more. She's still asking for more. So you've got something Still hasn't finished, bring that. Well, hasn't finished, we just in case, just in case. So you have everything there on the shelf, just in case, just in case, just in case. Too many things as asked will bring no good between the husband and wife. And that's the right of the husband and his wife to be satisfied with the little. Number 10.
It's a right to the husband from the wife that she bring up her children from him in a good manner, with patience and not being angered with her children in front of him, and without supplicating against them or abusing them.
But this is really annoys the husband. If you start supplicating against your children, shouting at the children without no reason, and insulting the children. Right, number 11.
Among the rights is that the wife must treat his parents and relatives well.
Right, so it is from as well that is to be good to his relatives. We're not asking you to be a servant to his mother, but it's not correct every time that your mother-in-law, which is his mother, to come, or his father-in-law to start putting a frown face. It's not correct. You should be nice to them because they are in his family. Number 12, please.
The husband's rights include the woman not keeping herself from him whenever he desires her.
Right, so she should be all the time ready there for any mating intercourse. Number 13.
It's a husband's right that the wife keep his affairs and the affairs of his household private, not spreading it to others.
Especially the secrets regarding the bed. Those things regarding the bed, you're not allowed to expose it to anybody, whether him or her. So his right as well upon his wife, just like her right upon him, not to disclose the secrets. It's no good. Right. So we have spoken about the hadith. If you remember hadith Asma bint Yazid, yes. Number 14.
It's the right of the husband of the wife that she covet him and try to remain with him, not asking for divorce without any due reason.
Yeah, it's not every time you have a row with the husband, divorce me. It's not correct. Be patient as well. Number 14. And number 14. So these are the rights basically of the husband over the wife, and the mothers should be teaching their daughters to be aware of those rights. And we will, inshallah, talk about this recommendation and commandments of a mother to her daughter when she was about to go to her husband for the first time in marriage. So she gave us some reminders, which is very important for us to read them, inshallah, and let the mothers, be idhnillah, then read after them. And let the mothers, inshallah, learn from this after the prayer, idhnillah, because now in 1 minute we start the prayer, so we'll leave that after the prayer, inshallah. I think the first call was here, wasn't it? Yeah. So let's go back.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الشهادة إقامة الصلاة إقامة الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله. 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 الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله. الله أكبر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
بارك الله فيك. الله يرحمك. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. We continue with the admonishing and the commandments of this mother to her daughter when she's about to get married. And for us to learn, inshallah, from this. And I will ask the doctor, please, to recite that story from the mother of Umama bint al-Harith. She gave her the principles through which she will navigate, inshallah, a successful and happy life. She said,
Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. Brothers, those of you who are just joining us, we're on the rights of the husband upon the wife. We've just done the 14 rights. We're just about to go through some advice from the mother. Umar, this passage starts with Umar ibn Hajjaj, the king of Hinda.
I would like you just to go straight away. She said, "Oh daughter," straight away.
My dear daughter,
Yep.
if advice were left for the virtue of etiquette, I would leave this for you. However, this is a reminder for the negligent and support for the negligent one. If there ever were a woman who was not in need of a spouse due to the wealth of her parents and their strong need for her, I was indeed the most not in need of it. But women were created for men, and men were created for women.
Meaning that her father and her mother are rich. And if it was just because of the father and the mother of the bride is to be rich, and then she is going to be in need of nobody, I would never give you this commandment. But the women being created for the men and vice versa. So meaning that you need to understand that parents being rich and parents being there for you, but you need to understand that your husband is going to be, he is the one who is in charge from now on. So she said to her,
My dear daughter, you're leaving the environment that you came from and the life that you grew up to an unfamiliar setting and a companion you have not bonded with. You have become by his authority over you, a watched person and a servant. Be a servant to him. He will soon be a servant as well. And adhere to 10 characteristics for him, and he will be a treasure for you.
Right, before we start with the 10 characteristics or the 10 things that she should do, she's saying to her that you could capture his heart, you could make him just like you are a servant to him, he will become a slave and servant for you. So what are the 10 things? Number 1 and 2?
Be submissive to him with satisfaction and listen well to him and obey him.
So satisfaction and also hear and obey. These are the 2 here, number 1 and 2. Satisfaction, be satisfied with what you got. You don't need to go and ask for something, which you don't need. Your friend, she's got her husband bought a very, very nice car or bought himself a nice car, and your husband's car is not that as good as the other one. Don't press on your husband, you need to get the same car as that one. Or for example, your friend's husband or somebody else has got a better house than yours. You start putting the pressure on husband, sell your house, let's get a better house with 5 bedrooms when you are 2 people here, 5 bedrooms for 2 people. Why is that? Why is the competition? So when you do this, you're going to make the husband hate you for that. And also, she said to her, husnul sam'i wa ta'a, to be here and obey. You hear the things, as long as you don't command you with disobedience of Allah, you should be fulfilling what he says to you, you will gain and win his heart. Number 3 and 4.
Be aware of what he sees and smells. Never let him see you look ugly, and never let him smell anything but a good scent from you.
So always keep whatever he looks at and what he smells pleasant. That means you always be in a nice way. You don't want him to look at you when you are not looking nice. Okay? And also, he doesn't want to smell something from you. So he doesn't want you to, for example, not to have your teeth not brushed. Brush your teeth. You don't want him to smell something from your mouth and they start keeping away for as if every time he wants to kiss you. So you have to know as well, looking nice for him. And he has to do the same thing as well, to be beautifying himself for her and also smelling nice for her. This husband who smokes, I say to him, fear Allah. You don't like your wife to be in the kitchen smelling onion and curry, and yet you smoke cigarette, which is haram, and you smell horrible. How dare you, say to your wife, go and dress up nicely, smell nicely, when you yourself, you don't smell nice. For those who are smokers, it's about time for you to give up, inshallah. Number 3 and 4.
Number 5 and 6.
So 5 and 6.
Be aware of his times for sleeping and eating. Being continually hungry makes one burn, and lacking sleep makes one cantankerous.
So sister as well, you need to know as well, don't make your husband hungry. So if he's gonna go to work, he needs his breakfast, make sure that his breakfast is ready. And this is one of the rights which this author did not speak about, and that is serving the husband, because the scholars are in controversial regarding this issue. Correct opinion that just like he is in charge of bringing the bread, meaning he has to make sure that the expenditure is there, you have to as well make sure that the husband have his service services were to be there, meaning whenever he comes back, he has to have the dinner because this is your job, and his job is to go and bring the bread and bring the food and bring the money. His job to go outside, and you look after him. So serving the husband, is the correct opinion, is to be compulsory upon the woman and the women, as long as it is within we call it al-urf. Al-urf means the customs. Because you see, from one woman to another, it differs. So if you married somebody who is, for example, from the rural areas, it's going to differ from the ones from the urban areas. A woman from, like you say, you married, for example, let's say you married the daughter of a queen or a king. You don't expect her to go and cook for you because she never cooked in her life. Okay, so you married a woman like this, you need to get a servant because she hasn't got used to this sort of cooking and all of that. But if you married somebody who's coming from, this desert area, she's always cooking for her husband. She's seen her mother. She's been cooking for her father. So she will be, she will be taking that on board, no problem. So it's according to what we call the custom. So she should be as well doing that. And then also he says, whenever he wants to sleep, make sure that you don't really put the children, if you've got children, next to him when he wants to come and have a nap during the day or during the night, make the children cry their head out, in front of his door. He wants to have sleep because he wants to work the following day. That's the sensible woman and the smart woman. Number 7 and 8.
Be prudent with respect to his wealth and guard over his servants and dependents, and manage well issues of money and arrange well issues of dependence.
So wealth and children, this is 7 and 8. Wealth, be economizing the usage of money. Don't squander the money for nothing. And also the children, make sure that you're being brought up properly. And number 9 and 10, the last two things.
Do not disobey him in any matter. Do not expose any of his secrets. If you go against his wishes, you will have created malice in the heart against you. And if you spread his secrets, you will not be safe from his betrayal. Finally, never have joy in his presence while he is depressed, or be gloomy when he is happy.
Meaning that if he is unhappy, why are you being happy? And when he is happy, why do you turn his happiness into misery or miserable moments? So if he's happy, be happy with him, even on the expense of yourself. Maybe you're a bit tired or something, but show that you are happy. You are actually part sharing with him. And this, of course, the mother advising her daughter. And I would say the father should advise his son the same thing as well, to be a cooperative wife and a cooperative husband as well. Well, with this, inshallah, we'll stop here, and we're going to keep, inshallah, questions if we have as well within the next 10 minutes. Jazakallah. If you have questions regarding what we have heard, please go ahead. 15 minutes you've got. If you haven't got questions, I'll go to the dispute between the husbands, because I've got the following title: Dispute with the Husband and the Wife.
Sheikh, I've got one question.
Now, for the
one of the issues that sometimes arises with the rights of the woman or the husband is the right to do the obligatory Hajj, if it's within the financial means of the husband.
It is not obligatory upon the husband to make his wife to do the Hajj if he has the means, but it's good from the good conduct. We call it the husn al-mu'ashara, but it's not incumbent upon him, nor it is going to be compulsory on her to do the Hajj once her husband is rich. It's only her. If she is capable financially and she has the mahram to go ahead, then Hajj becomes compulsory. So she got her brother to take her, or husband would be willing to take her. She's got the money, it becomes compulsory upon her. But basically, her husband becoming rich and she is not, okay, it's not incumbent upon him to, as I said, to take her to the Hajj. It's not. But it's from the husn al-mu'ashara, to be good conduct. Isn't it true that, the husband should not be dressed up, except when you dress up his wife, the same thing? Same thing with the food. You don't really eat your kebab and leave her with the dal, with the end of her own. It's not correct. So you eat the same thing as well. You go to Umrah, take her sometimes to the Umrah. Where you go all the time, Umrah, you don't take her once to the Umrah. So you just, at least this is from the good conduct. So she sees that your wife is being participating in your life. So obviously from the good conduct, but it's not compulsory upon her, nor it becomes compulsory upon him as well. So both is not compulsory on them. Now,
brothers, any other questions?
Pardon?
Yeah, these days, both the husband and wife are working. And you mentioned one of the characteristics of the wife should be
Serving.
She should
Serving.
serving, yes, this. So what if she's like, well, I'm tired, or we should.
Right. So the question is basically, if the woman, she is now working like the husband, okay, and we said one of the rights of the husband over his wife that she should be serving. That means cooking for him and all of this. But she's working herself. Isn't it right to be from the just that he should be as well participating now in cooking and serving? Yeah, rightly so. But if the husband said to her, I don't need you to work, she should not be working. If a husband said to her, you don't need to work, she should not be working. She should be, doing the best of job of hers, which is to look after the house, because the children, they're going to be brought up by somebody else, true or not. Both of them are out. Who are you going to give it to? The nanny? Grandmother? Grandfather? Or maybe somebody else to look after them? Okay, so the husband should be himself the one who is earning the bread, not anybody else. He is the breadwinner. What meaning? That he shouldn't be asking his wife to work. He should be himself to work. But like you said, so many husbands and wives these days, even sometimes the husband will never look for a potential bride except that she's already what? In job, isn't it? Because he wants money. Well, if it is the case, then she has the right to ask you, babysit today. Babysitting on you. You're going to change the nappies as well. Sometimes you, sometimes me, because he's working as well. As we're going to talk about the disputes between the husband and wife later on, the wife, she's allowed to go and detach herself from her husband, even on the bed wise, if he does not give her her right. For example, he does not give her her right in the food. He does not bring it to the house. No, I'm not going to give you the bed. Okay, so that is as well something to bear in mind. We say that if she's working, which she should not be, then she's entitled to say to her husband, today's you cook, tomorrow's I cook. But always, ikhwani, husband and wife should never, have their life worked upon like mathematics. 1 + 1 is equal to. Sometimes the wife, she will do more, and the husband sometimes he will do all the time sacrificial. It's nothing to do. I'm calculating. I've done 3 times changing of the nappies. You're going to do 3 times. If it works like this, that means like each one is what trying to basically put the other one down, or to humiliate him, or to show his muscle, or I'm just taking my vendetta on him. It's not correct. It's cooperation. The life of here is cooperation. If it's going to be like this, believe me, it's not going to last for a long time. It's not going to last for a long time. If it's going to tit for tat. She's done this, I'm going to do this. She's done this, and that. No, accurate. Now, is that the question?
The sister will just follow up with a question on that shit. What advice can be given to young couples who work on equal responsibilities basis?
Okay, I would say for the couple, the couple who are married recently, the problem with is we see them delaying the most important goal of this marriage, which is producing children. They're staying a long time. They might breed cats, dogs, all types of animals, but the last thing they breed children. And the most important thing for the couple is to produce a child. So Allah Azza wa Jalla, when He said regarding the fasting, أُحِلَّ لَكُمْ لَيْلَةَ الصِّيَامِ الرَّفَثُ إِلَى نِسَائِكُم. That is, in the night, during the night, in this night you can go to approach your wives in intercourse. وَابْتَغُوا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. And also He said, then seek what Allah had ordained for you. That's children, He said. Children is the most important thing. So for the couple, I would say that they should now think about not too much dunya. We want akhirah. So let's just, delaying the children is no good. The husband and the wife, when they bring children from the early stage, that brings them the proper life of responsibility. And I think the wife, she will be already now she had knocked a nail in the wall. That means she's stronger now as a wife, and the husband is stronger because, after the child, it's very hard to dismantle from each other. It's not very easy to. But when they're going to live their life, we're going to have honeymoon all our life. No children. That's not life. You will get later on. It's easy to break up. So you want the child. So I would say, wife should relax. Let the husband work. You don't have to have the luxury life. Less life than that. And then make sure that you have the child. The child will bring the love. Father will start loving the child. The mother will start loving the child. Both of them will be together. Alhamdulillah. And also, for the couple as well, I would say to you that be content. Qana'ah, content. If you're content, alhamdulillah, don't compete with other people. Other people, maybe they look like richer than you are, but who said they are happier than you are? Who said that? What you are seeing is the outside. It's cosmetic. I call it cosmetic. Like makeup. Okay? I think doctor, he knows because he meets a lot of people. So, true or not? It looks outside, ooh, mashallah, rich car, Rolls Royce outside, but their secrets are the doctors. They know what sort of problems is between the husband and the wife. Subhanallah, the outside, they live in hell. So outside for the people, they live, mashallah, but inside, when they look in the house, they swear at each other, the depression. How many people, I'm not gonna say embarrass the doctor and ask him, but I know from other doctors, they told me the amount of depression that people are in because they are away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I'm just going to follow that about if the marriage is based on materialism and buying gifts and items, then there's only so far materialism will take you. And a lot of the non-Muslims, that's the issue they experience. And if the Muslims start following this path, then that then leads to the destruction.
I have neighbors, the blue bins. The blue bin is for what? Recycle. It's for card boxes and everything. Wallahi, every week it's been filled. They can't get fed up of buying things new. Do you understand me? They buy something new for a week, they got bored of it. They have to have something new. So the bin, the blue one is always filled up every week from new items, the boxes, the recycled one. Because this is the life of theirs. And the Muslim, they follow this, that's what they're going to end up, materialistic. It's not going to last for a long time.
Sheikh, the other question is around the implementation of the rights. So some people take the rights literally and they quote the other spouse, the rights, as we've said in the book. What's the advice of the scholars around how one should communicate with the other spouse and vice versa?
I would say,
how they should deal with it.
Yeah, I would say that the rights from the wife over her husband to teach her to remember her religion, to teach her the religion either by himself or to make her to listen to lectures whom the scholars will, explain the rights. It's not correct to hold whatever we have just said here as a knife, by which you see what the Sheikh said, I told you, you're wrong. So he's holding like a knife onto her neck, or she had said something. You see the Sheikh what he said? She's holding a knife towards the neck of her husband. That's not the way we're going to go through. This is just for education wise. It's not to say I'm a winner. No winner, no loser here. It's both of you. If you have living good life, both of you winners. If there's no good life, when one of you has fallen out, yes, you have lost. So think about it that you are together building. What an easy way to demolish. Demolishing is very easy. Building is the one which takes time, all the time. Building takes a long time. But the demolishing, that's it, it's finished. But building, you build the trust, you take time. You build happiness, you take time. Demolish that is very easy. Take it, just one word. And remember, Khwani, each person has got his own physical abilities. If each person thinks according to what Allah had created, don't expect from the woman to be like a man, and don't expect from the man to be like a woman. I remember regarding this issue that the way that the woman, she approaches things is totally different from the men, how they approach things. One thing is an issue, the tabloid, in your newspaper, the little one that passes through every week, used to have him, Husband, I'm sure that all of you, the men or husbands, they don't really pay attention to that tabloid. They just look at maybe the titles, the big titles, then they leave it. You see, the wife, subhanAllah, she goes into the details. She goes to the back page and read little things and little adverts. And so you might as well say to your wife, oh, you very bad, you stupid person, because you just waste your time on these little things. And she'll say, you are a stupid person, because you just don't know, you have missed this advert. They're really now advertising for something free. Oh, really? Now you'll be interested now. So I would say each person complete the other. Okay, each person complete the other. So she did not miss these little things, and you have invested in them as well. And you did not have time for this. You had time for something which is important as well. She invested in that. So both of you can be one another. Why should I say that and pick up on my wife because she's, I feel that she's naivety because of this? Maybe it's naivety. Sometimes on the internet, she finds you something that you've been looking for years. For that one, and how cheap it was. She is the one. The best thing, the best person to search is not Google. Women, women, they use the best people because they got the mentality to do that, and that's why when they go to the market, you spend about, as a man, half an hour, and they get bored, isn't it? 1 hour maximum. Women, they might spend the whole night. The whole day. True or not? True or not, Ikhwani? True or not? One drew a caricature and they said, you know, the mission to buy something. This is the market and the mission to buy something. And it says male, one line, he goes to the mission, that's it. Female, ding, 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 ding. They're searching, you see, and then they find out they'll get the target. They might, with this, find something else. This is how they think, and that's how their mentality of it. But Prophet ﷺ warned us against the markets, of course. We tell the sister they go to the market, don't hang out for a long time, and also bear your hijab, ya akhwati. Bear your hijab. Hijab is important. Your hijab and your looks and everything. And do not shop during the night, because now the night comes very early and it's not really safe for you. You don't want somebody to pull your hijab off or something like that. So be careful, be on guard, be with your other sisters, or maybe with your husband would be better. Another question, Ikhwan, from the floor. Subhanakallah bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Jazakumullahu khairan wa barakallahu fikum.